Krai, the most southern region of Snezhnaya. This mysterious land has no archon and its people are said to wield powers that predate the 7 elements. Let's dive into the history and all major factions so you'll be fully prepared to explore the new region and enjoy its story. The Knights of Favonius sent an expedition group led by Grandmaster Varka, who we briefly spoke to in the 5.6 quest. Jean took the role as leader in Mondstadt until he returns. Varka is one of the strongest people in Mondstadt. He brought Rosarian to the city, accepted Eula into the Knights of the Favonius, trained Razor in the woods and gave him his name. One time he went to Natland to speak with Mavuika, but they ended up in a drinking contest which she won. The news trailer showed us his animo vision and that he uses a claymore, the wolf's gravestone. While he seems rather carefree, he has a lot of scars, which indicate he is a seasoned warrior. Notice how the translation says he's coming for the city of Mondstadt. The Voynich Merchants Guild is the unofficial and only jurisdiction in the country. Krai has no other court of law. They reside in Nasha Town, which is the biggest trading port and probably the first major location we reach. It's also the home of the Speranza, Inefa, her creator Aino, and her Clink Clank Kumkake craft shop, which produces different mechanical inventions. The Frostmoon Scions live in the forest and mountains of Hisi Island and are connected to Nordic mythology. They pray for the new moon's protection and worship a Frostmoon deity which seems to be Columbina. They build statues for her all over Krai, and she isn't introduced as Harbinger but as Moon Maiden. For centuries they avoided conflicts with outsiders, which now could change with the arrival of the Fatui. The Frostmoon Scions originate from an ancient golden civilization which was destroyed by Celestia. It most likely refers to the golden city of Hyperborea, which is described in the finale of the Deep Gallery's artifact set and the Ballad of the Fjords description. The name Hyperborea is Greek and means something like beyond Boreas, which is the god of the north wind and namesake for the wolf boss in Mondstadt. It is the birthplace of the Angels' Rebellion, which is why Celestia destroyed it and turned the angels into Seelies afterwards. The only known surviving angels are Nabu Malikata and the Lord of the Night. The first angel taught the people of Hyperborea hidden methods to create the so-called Snowland Fae. Their flesh and blood was made from fallen Frostmoon light and forged upon bones of giant beasts. They followed the very first cryo-archon Belizar and ruled the Northlands. Following the cataclysm, Krai was one of the first locations to be attacked by the Abyss. These abyssal entities are generally known as the Wild Hunt and are stronger than what we're used to. Although we don't know what it is exactly, they're searching for something very important. Also, they have a leader we don't know anything about yet. A priestess of the Frostmoon Scions was involved in helping the first Torchforger banish the Wild Hunt with Frostmoon light in ancient times, thus establishing the Lightkeepers. Till this very day, Lightkeepers are fighting the Wild Hunt, even though their forces have been severely reduced in past battles. The Lightkeepers' history is described in the artifact set Long Night's Oath, and I'll summarize it as I understand it. There were 2 children who had a dream of creating a new land of Krai or a world without boundaries. One of them was Reed Miller, who was later executed as thief. He founded the Treasure Hoarders group and buried a great treasure in Krai. It could be that this is the celestial sword Kaya talked about, but that's just speculation. The other kid should later become the first Torchforger and founder of the Lightkeepers. When the cataclysm happened, Krai got heavily attacked by the Abyss. Snezhnaya could not send help, however, independent Fatui special forces who were only loyal to the Tsaritsa traveled to Krai. Even though they had no order to defend the country, they couldn't watch the people getting slaughtered. They teamed up with the Frostmoon Scions, defeated the attackers, and built a light tower as symbol for safety in the darkness. The Torchforger, now a deserter, returned to the Tsaritsa's court. Apparently, she wanted to claim the land for Snezhnaya, but the Torchforger still wanted to fulfill the childhood dream of an independent Krai, so they came to an agreement. Krai is independent if the Lightkeepers swear an oath to protect the land. And so they did. For centuries. Now the Wild Hunt is getting stronger and attacks anew. The Fatui arrived in Krai, but they don't help defending the country. They are waiting for the Lightkeepers to lose, which breaks their oath and gives Snezhnaya reason to reclaim the land. The Fatui, led by Dottore, built a stronghold on Paha Isle. The highest of commands, the Pale Star Edict, has summoned the Harbingers back to Snezhnaya and dispatched them to Not Krai. Currently, we know that Dottore, Sandrone and Colombina are all present. One of their objectives is seemingly finding or retrieving Colombina. We don't know the details yet. And also, I want to mention that with Alice and Nicole, 2 members of the Hexenzirkel are present, but we can't say what their motives are. I'm especially interested in Nicole and will make a video on her lore. Alice is the protector of Tavort's borders, so she probably knows about the ever-thinning veil and wants to stop the wild hunt. My predictions for the story are: the Fatui are there to use the energy or destroy the moon. Ultimately, I suspect they want to turn Colombina into the new moon. That's why she's so important.
The moon's bob is nigh.
On top of that, they want the Wild Hunt to defeat the Lightkeepers in order to reclaim the land of Not Krai for Snezhnaya. It's possible the Lightkeepers know the location of Reed Miller's great treasure and are protecting it. The Knights of Favonius are here to help the Lightkeepers because they are weakened. Especially Alice should know about the ever-thinning veil. Also, if it's true that the moon that we have right now is destroyed, meaning the fake sky, the fake firmament, that would also be one of the points that Alice would want to prevent. I am a little bit unsure about the Frostmoon Scions. On the one hand, they worship Colombina and build the statues for her. On the other hand, they are the enemies of the Fatui. Shouldn't they actually be on the side of the Fatui in order to ascend Colombina to godhood? Isn't that what they would want? I think it's noteworthy how much lore was revealed recently. We know that Raria, one of the 5 sinners, is called the Moon Hunter. This could be of some significance. I think Hoyo messed up a little bit with Raria because he was introduced as the Rächer of Solnari, which is German for Avenger, but in Chinese translation as well as the Stygian Onslaught weapon skins, he is named the Moon Hunting Sinner, which is kinda the opposite. With so many different factions, there will be at least one big confrontation at some point. I think it will be Hexenzirkel, Frostmoon Scions, Knights of the Favonius and the Lightkeepers versus the Fatui and the Wild Hunt. Let me know what you're most excited for in the new region. For me, it's definitely Nicole and Alice. The cast this time is absolutely stacked. Leave a like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.